And I think, my buddy Dave said it the best. He said, the thing about the universe, Kirk, or God, or whatever you want to call it, is you can't demand answers on your own dime. Because it's like saying, tell me all the answers to everything. And you're just like, I can't do that for you. It's just like me at my age and your age now to try to talk to your son or my daughter, to try to explain to them things. You just go, even if I try to explain it to you, you're not going to get it right now. You're only going to get small portions of it because that's all you're capable of understanding and hearing.
Agreed.
So I just don't see this as a coincidence anymore. I see it as a path that I have to just recognize and I have to keep following. And I'm going to say this as I look into the camera because, like I said, I've made jokes about the universe and about the secret and all of that, but I truly believe I received this message through the Facebooks. Of all places, the universe spoke to me through the Facebooks.
And
As Dave would say, the Facebooks spoke to me. And you know what? Maybe the Facebooks and the interwebs and the Twitter sphere, maybe that really is where God is somewhere. I have said to people, if you think about it, the internet is like this vast new universe that has no beginning. No one knows where it really began, truly birthed, and no one knows where it's going to ever end. So what the Facebook's gods have done is they sent me a message, all right, that seems so clear to me that I understood before and I forgot. And now in this small world that we're living in that is becoming increasingly smaller because of the internet, it made a profound difference on me. And that is, Facebook just published an article that said the algorithms that they have now has now brought the connections of people, not from the 6 degrees of separation, but we are now at about 3.5 degrees of separation between the 1.6 billion people that are connected to Facebook. Now, think about that for a minute. What I'm saying is that there's only 3.5 people, 3 people in a midget. That's it. You're 3 people in a midget away from everything in your life changing. 3.5, that's all it takes to make my dream come true. As I look into the camera right now and I speak to you and you and you and you and everybody who's watching and been listening to this episode of Nothing Sacred, there's somebody out there right now who's going to look at my stories, who's going to see that I am this comedian, this storyteller that has lived this extraordinary life, that has the power of a superhero to come back from the dead, not once, not twice, but 3 times. You know me. I'm a cat. It's gonna take 9 times to finally get rid of me on this planet, evidently, And the universe has put people in my path now that is making this happen and making it come true. And as I say it and I look at it, I'm looking for people who are going to pass this video on and other videos of mine. And when they do, then somebody comes along that says, you just saved my life. I was going to kill myself, but I realized that just by listening to somebody else who was in such a dark place that I was in, that I don't have to feel so alone anymore because there's you. Then that's what makes me realize that not only am I not alone because the Facebook's universe is out there and the Twitter sphere is out there for me to connect to people and never be alone anymore, and for no one else out there to be alone. And that's what I'm saying. I'm looking in the camera right now and saying there is in 3.5 people out there. And if enough people pass my videos and pass this information around, then I am going to finish this path that I've been sent back to do, which is talk to thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And somebody just wrote me today and said in a post, Kirk, what you're doing is amazing, and I want to share my story and I want to be a part of this. Can I come help? And I said, you're helping right now. You're commenting on posts and videos and things that we're talking about that people don't talk about. for two suicide survivors like me and Brian Koppel to get on the air and talk about it as two men, for you and me to spend this hour and a half that we've spent talking about the most intimate things that men don't ever talk about, we're changing the world by doing that. And that, my friend, is why somebody came and grabbed me out of that field and led me back home. The fabric of my existence now has come together now after all of this to be able to say to people, if anybody understands what you're going through, I do. Even when I think every day I could be homeless again, I was homeless.
Mm-hmm.
And you know
Not
what?
that long ago either.
Not that long ago either. Within this 10 months, I was
Within this
homeless
10
and
months.
living on the streets. And the thing is that no matter what happens from this moment on in my life, no matter how bad things get and how scary things get and how dismal things feel, that there's a purpose for me here. And somebody's going to help me in some way, because I'm here because everybody has helped me. And
Yeah.
they've helped me because, wow, and this is the part that was really hard for me to accept about myself for a long, long time, that I am a good and decent man of really strong character. And that is very hard. That was very hard for me to accept, because I had so many people telling me the opposite in my life, my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I would say to most people who are listening right now is this. The one thing is, because this happens all the time, and it happened to me, is the thought of losing somebody that you love is so soul-consuming and overwhelming. You can't imagine. I mean, you're one of the only people that I can look into their eyes and you know that the love my wife and I had for each other was something that was extraordinary. It was something that only happens once in a lifetime. And it really, if there is such a thing as you meeting your soulmate, we met our soulmates when we met one another. And so the idea of losing her was so soul-wrenching, so something I just could not come to terms with. And I think when people are losing their family, their children, because their wife is going to leave them because of mental illness, or they're just losing everything, the job that they love, the career that they love. I mean, I lost it all. And so losing her was the last thing I thought I was going to lose. I thought I was holding on to her. I thought I was losing everything else, and I thought if anything's going to stay, it will be her. There are worse things in life to lose than somebody that you love. The worst thing to lose is yourself. Your soul, is who you are. And when you look into that mirror and you don't recognize yourself anymore, that is far worse than ever losing somebody. Because at least if you lose somebody, maybe you got a chance that that person may be in your life again in some form or another down the line. But once you lose yourself, you end up where I did, where there's just nowhere to go. You're trapped like a rat. I get that a lot from people saying, I'm losing my wife. Nah, that means I'm going to lose my children. I'm going to lose, it's just everything. You're losing everything. People just keep saying I'm losing everything, and they're focused on everything they're losing. And while they're focused on all that, what they don't realize is they're really losing themselves, and they're losing everything that makes up who they are and the strength that it's going to take to survive all those other little losses. The biggest tsunami that will hit you is when you lose yourself. And some people never come back from that. I'm lucky that I came back from that. Honestly, this last time I didn't think I had what it takes to rebuild at all. There are days even now where I just look around and I think, oh, Jesus Christ, man, like, how am I going to go from poverty back to where I was as a teacher, like a comedian or a speaker, and talking to people and getting my message out and changing the world?
I think we're doing that right now.
We are doing it. We're doing it every day. And when people say to me, you need to make a documentary, Kirk, and you need to make something and sell it, and then you wouldn't be broke, I think to myself, no, I have this voice that is the universe talking to me saying, I don't have to sell anything. I'm giving all of this away to everybody. I'm making these videos, and I'm counting that the universe spoke to me and is telling me that all it takes is 3 people and a midget to make my dreams come true.
Well, here's to 3 people and a midget.
So that's all it's going to take. People are going to get angry because it's nothing sacred that I'm saying midget. So let me just rephrase it and say 3 people and Gary Coleman.
There you go.
Okay? 3 people and the frog. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
Hello, my ragtime girl.
That's all it's going to take. So if you're listening to this video or watching this video or listening to this message, then you could be that one person that helps me make my dream come true, and that is have a TED Talk next year. Come talk to somebody's school, save kids, come talk to veterans, veterans who are having this struggle, and be able to look at somebody and say, I know how you feel. I've been there. I've survived it. I've walked through the valley of the shadow of death, and I don't fear it anymore, and I can help you get back from that darkness into the light. So I'm counting on that this power that the universe has now revealed itself to me and reminded me again, it is a destiny that I'm on. It is a purpose that I have here, and each one of you can help me to make that purpose and that destiny a reality. So I'm asking you, pass this on.
It's just a click away.
All right, thanks for watching and listening to Nothing Sacred. I'm Kirk Nolan.
And I'm Steve Brewer.
And we will see you all on the flip side. Love y'all.
You just gotta pick up the phone, call somebody, and just make sure that you don't get to the place where I got to.